All right. I think we're pretty good to go, but then it looks like the donation total just changed, so let's check on that. We did receive a $100 donation from Mr. Cab. Thank you so much, Mr. Cab. His comment reads, "For Shovelry and for Shovel Knight to make things interesting." So let me give you guys a quick update on that particular bid war. Looks like it hasn't been updated yet, but Plague Knight is currently leading $290 over Shovel Knight at $170. So, again, this is a bid war for coming up in a couple games now. We're going to have a Shovel Knight run. It's either going to be Shovel Knight any percent by Munchakoopas or Plague Knight any percent by Tolu. Currently, as mentioned, the leader is Plague Knight, but if you would like to see Shovel do his thing, then get your donations in. It looks like we're going to cut that bid war off right after Munchakoopas finishes Hyperlight Drifter, so you're going to want to get your donations in really soon. All right. Well, Bullets, I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Great. You can go ahead and get started. You give me a countdown any time, and I'll start the timer.
All right, cool. Start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is SUPERHOT. Hopefully you know that by now, but anyways, so, well, that happens every once in a while, the first level, where it'll eat your input to one direction, so you have to do something weird. That's a good start. Anyway, SUPERHOT is a first-person shooter where it only moves than you do, which gets pretty interesting in these earlier levels because such a small space, and you have to. If you miss one of your shots, you're more than likely going to die. And you'll see that we jump around most of the time when we're doing this because it messes up the AI with how they move around and how they try to predict where you're going towards. And just in general, it's faster, so. As we get later in the game, it's going to start adding some more weapons and mechanics. But for the main part from the beginning, it's just going to be pistols. Everything dies in one hit, except for when you punch them. But you die in one hit to everything. Can't manipulate where these guys spawn. It's a little difficult to do. After this level, you can quit out, and you have to mash enter to open up the menu before the message box plays, or you have to talk to your friend. We don't want to do that. We don't want to listen to the plot. There's actually a plot where your friend gives you a cracked game, and the game starts to boss you around and tell you to shoot people, which is not a good thing. So I did miss a guy behind me, so I'm going to have to hopefully turn around and kill him before he kills me. Nice.
Super.
Right there is called a stomp. It's kind of difficult to do. Looks a lot easier than it is, but because that guy's standing still. But when people are moving around, it's very difficult to jump on them. But it's an instant kill, and when you don't have a weapon, it's faster than punching them normally. And in that level, I tried to manipulate where the enemies were to kill them easier. You'll see it a lot for this, because it only has a melee weapon at the beginning. That's unfortunate. The bats only have 3 durability, so I have to swap halfway through. And it has a little bit of a cooldown as well, so I have to work around that. This is Desperado. Just pick up the bottle there, because it makes it one less punch. And this is the shotgun. It's the worst weapon in the game. Enemies will spam it whenever they see you, and just, well, you're going to see the shotgun again, so you missed it the first time. I missed the stomp that time, but... Ooh, that was nice of him. Shot the guy for me because I missed him. Oh. Died right as I finished the level. If you kill everyone but then you die, it still doesn't count, so you have to go back through again. This is a fairly difficult level. I'm doing a pretty aggressive strat for it, so take this last part a little slower, because you'll hide behind this column and shoot you the moment you get around it. This is the first slightly random level. What I mean by that is the enemies will spawn in the same place, but they spawn with different weapons. So obviously I want them to spawn with either nothing or katanas, not spawn with shotguns like those guys. So that was pretty bad because 2 guys spawned in a row with it. But other than that, it was more or less manageable. We are going to get the last weapon of the game here, the assault rifle. And for each of these weapons, they do have randomized amounts of ammo. They do have a base minimum they can have. Like for pistols, you always at least have 4 shots in it. And for shotguns, you'll at least have 2. But you can't have more than that. Most of the strats rely on just having the base amount. So we have to enter a password. I'm too lazy to type, so you can just move your mouse around, and for some reason that counts as entering text. And the first one always fails, and the second one always passes. Server's kind of interesting. Server's the next level. It's interesting because most of these levels, they try to keep weapons away from you as long as possible. For this one, they just put like 10 pistol or 10 shotguns all on the side, so we use that to our advantage and just grab shotguns whenever we fire one, because it's faster than wait and reload. Well, I missed a guy, so he's hiding somewhere. We have to go find him. I don't know where he's... Oh, found him. There we go. I won the game of hide and seek this time. So coming up is the first dog level, and they're kind of intermission levels where the game system makes you do menial things and walk into walls. So it's going to tell us not to move, but we're going to move anyways, because nah. And strafing against the wall, you'll see it later, but it makes time go at full speed, so it's best to do here. Right now it's not too important. As long as you're just moving around, it still counts. But later, when we have to wait for time to go for some other levels, it's pretty useful. So coming up is the worst level in the entire game. It's called Hospital. It murders most runs I get to it. Because similar to Break from before, it has randomized enemies spawning with weapons, and it spawns so many enemies that it's really hard to deal with them. I can tell where they're spawning though, because whenever they spawn from somewhere, the walls will glow red in that area, so I can kind of look for that. But still, they sometimes will... They're invisible for a little bit after they spawn, so it is difficult to kill them. Because they can still shoot you while they're invisible, but you can also kill them. So if you know exactly where someone's going to spawn, you can... Stone's pretty tough as well, but usually doesn't kill quite as many runs as Hospital. But anyways, you can kill them before they're visible as well, so once you play this a little bit, you can spawn kill them and get revenge. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to camp next to where I know they're going to spawn. Oh dear. Missed that guy somehow. There we go. What is after this? I'm drawing a blank. I should know what level's next. Oh, this is Dog 2. This is the only level you have to die on. Once that text pops up, you can die. You can die like half a second before that, but it's a little dangerous unless you really know the timing. There's only going to be one more dog level after that. Old Boy's similar to the level before where we had all bats, except we get a katana this time, and katanas don't break, so katanas are better. Except for sometimes when you slash someone with a katana, they'll just decide not to die somehow. So now we have to peekaboo with these guys and not die. Okay, cool. Next is probably the second hardest level. I'm going to try to do the really fast strat and see if it happens. Good. I have to punch a guy, jump stomp another guy, take his gun, shoot the next guy. Gun, please. And then I have to do this all before these guys can see me through the open door. Because after you kill the first 2 people, it spawns 2 shotgun guys right outside the door. And this is Dog 3. This is the last of them. Just have to click a lot, which I'm okay at. Anyone that does not like flashing images, I would say pause the stream for about a minute, because I have to mash escape pretty quickly for this part. This is just canceling the messages that pop up until we get to this. After this is one of the only forced message boxes we have to do, so a little bit of a lull in the game right here. All the other ones we can skip, like before, where we quit out before, because the game flags the mission being done before you actually quit out of it. So by leaving after you kill the last guy, but not before the level tells you it's finished, you can avoid these. But this one, because you don't kill the last person in Dog 3, because there's nobody to kill, you have to. So after we're done talking to, I guess, the game, I'm gonna jump on some more dudes. This can get pretty bad, but if I do this right, they should just line up. Oh, they didn't. Darn it. I'm gonna do it anyways. That didn't work. Shenanigans. I was trying to get them to line up in a line so I could skewer them, but it didn't quite work out. Oh well. So we're getting to about the end of the first half of the game at this point. This is the last level of this section. I have to wait for that guy to shoot the glass so he breaks it for me. If I shoot it before he does, he'll just kill me. Make me look bad at the game. So enemies here do spawn a little randomly. Like this guy comes around the corner whenever he feels like it, which can get bad at times. But I'm going to try to get them to line up and shotgun both of them, which actually worked out pretty well. Cool. Once I kill everyone, yeah, I'm just going to quit out because there's like a 5-second transition afterwards. I'm too lazy for that. So now we get a bit of a break. Just have to jump in a line. You have to do very optimal frame perfect bunny hops up this staircase. I messed it up. Runs over. Try to cut corners and go punch ourselves because the game told me to. And after this, usually what happens at this point in the game is that you talk to the system. The game tells you, you shouldn't play this game anymore. And then if you try to play it again, it'll start blurring out the options. And if you keep doing all the other options, it'll blur all of them out, and then it forces you to quit out. But the second the message box pops up, we just ignore them and we Alt F4 out anyways. Just to make sure it was actually showing up. There you go. I've had problems before when I'm streaming this where I was on world record pace and the game decided not to capture after the intermission because I Alt F4'd, which is not fun. So we had to talk to our friend who we've been ignoring the entire game, but all we can say to him is super hot. That's really all that's important. And he's so annoyed because we've been ignoring him the entire time that he's not going to talk to us anymore, which is nice. So what's coming up after this is we get a new ability the second half of the game, which makes it a lot easier, but it makes it pretty interesting. We have something called hot switching, which is, as the name implies, you switch bodies with an enemy that's somewhere, and you take control of them. All the enemies instantly know that you've hot switched. Like you can't trick them and pretend to be one of the enemies, but it's useful for if someone's about to kill you, you can kind of get out of there. The only downside is that they drop their weapon, so you can't just hot switch to a guy with an assault rifle and win. There are ways around that. So all I'm going to say about the next part is hot soup. If I mash fast enough, hopefully hot soup, I don't know. We'll see.
Super hot, 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 super hot.
There we go. It actually worked. So yeah, this is hot switching. There it was. The game forces you to use it at the beginning just to kind of teach you about it. But we can use it right here. Because I don't really like running up to that guy. It's kind of dangerous. This level is actually one of my favorite levels. I don't know why, really. It just goes really smoothly when you do it well, so hopefully I actually do it well. We did it. Never mind, I missed. I'm a failure. Okay, we unfailed. So make sure to kill those guys in an order where the assault rifle guy spawns up there, and then I can hot switch and take the other assault rifle that's dropped. This level can get a little weird because all the enemies kind of do their own thing. They'll just... Like, that guy was supposed to die, but he lived somehow because bullets mean nothing. Alright, let's see how this is going to go. Cool. 10, please. Thank you. So there's some on-the-fly thinking for especially the later levels, but nothing you can't really handle. It's just about trying to go as quickly as possible through these. So we get an ASCII brain. It's a nice reward for playing so far. So like I was talking about before, when we hot switch into people, their weapon gets thrown away. But we can actually prevent that. If we throw a throwable at them and then hot switch the second after it hits them, we can actually take their weapon, because it'll fall in front of them, right in front of their face, and we can just re-grab it. So it's a way around the system. We don't use it too much, but for this level, the very beginning, it puts us in a good position to kill everyone. So that's what I was talking about before with shooting enemies before they're visible. Oh, I was going to go for something fancy. Sorry, no fancy stuff today.
Super.
Thank you guys for the super hot spam, by the way. So the game's going to make us spam in between levels now, just to make sure we're still awake. So I have to be kind of careful here. If I don't grab that shotgun quick enough, the train will kill me. Nice, it actually happened. You can bait them into shooting the guy right as the door opens. It's kind of difficult to do, but every once in a while it happens. Sadly, you can't use our mouse anymore to input text. For some reason, when you quit out and join back in, it takes that away from you, which is really weird. I really don't know why it does that. Oh, there it is. I have kind of a very specific strat here where I need every single bullet, so because I missed that stomp, I have to hope I have an extra bullet. Now he just shot my bullet out the air. How rude. Alright, so we gotta make up a strat on the fly here. What can we do? Let's shoot that guy. Just a please. And hot switch. It should work. Cool. I thought I forgot one guy, but everyone died, so we did it. 8's one of the harder levels, the one we just did. So I'm surprised I got through without dying. After this is the last normal level in the game. And by that I mean just the last level where your objective is to kill everything. For this, I'm going to kind of do the Katana Percent strat, which Katana Percent is a challenge mode that speedran as well. It's pretty fun. Just where that strat came from, since every single time you do that anyways, you spawn with a katana, so might as well do that. So now we've got the hardest level. I know I said the other one was the hardest, but this is pretty tough. You have to frame perfect bunny hops. There's actually a secret on this level. I didn't mention it before, but there's secrets hidden in most of these levels. You saw there was a light that was kind of slanted. And if you go through the wall on the left, it doesn't tell you at all. If you just happen to run against the wall on the left next to that slanted light, there is a secret terminal there. But yeah, after this is core. And now we can hot switch. The goal of this is going to be to hot switch into the giant pyramid in the middle. Only problem is each time we hot switch into, there's 4 phases, and each time we get to a new phase, it takes longer for it to recharge and more enemies spawn, so it gets tougher and tougher. So the first time we have hot switch instantly, obviously it's really easy. If you wait around enough, there are enemies that start spawning, but they shouldn't kill you. Second one, there's a couple enemies there, but they're not very smart, and I can just go over here and strafe into this corner so that time goes at full speed. Third phase is one of the harder phases. Third and fourth are really difficult. So what I have to do is I need to climb up this pyramid. There's like 5 or 6 guys below me, all with guns, and I have to get over here. The secret, like I was talking about secrets before, there's a secret over there, so that's why you're intended to get up here. But you don't need to actually kill anybody to finish these levels. So I can just strafe into here, let my hot switch charge and finish this off, which makes it a ton easier. Most people that play as casually, this is the toughest level because they don't know that you can just do that. I'm gonna kill this guy because he's killed me a lot of times in a run, so I'm not gonna let him do that. Don't shoot me, please. Okay, good. That was a lot closer than it should have been. But that's the last phase. After this, we get to hot switch into a bunch of dudes, and then we win. So there's a way to 2-cycle this. You have to be able to hot switch into someone near you, or else it'll send you back to the pyramid. And you can do this in 1 cycle, but I find it's quicker and more consistent for me just to do 2-cycle. Yep, and that's core. So after this, we've got a little bit of an intermission, and because we reached the incentive for the glitched ending, we will be doing some fun shenanigans. It's going to be in about 40 seconds, but if you're wearing headphones or have your volume up loud, I would suggest turning it down just a little bit. It does get a little loud. I think only a few people have actually seen this, outside the people that run this game. Pretty sure the devs don't know about it, so nobody tell them. I don't want this to ever be patched. So we have to set ourselves free, which means we need to shoot ourselves. So we disconnect and become part of the system. There is a way to avoid shooting yourself completely. We're not going to be doing that for the glitched ending. We'll be doing something a little different. So every time you click, the screen tells you no, just to remind you that no, shooting the wall is not shooting you. So it says no. If I hold click, it doesn't do anything. But if I do this, so the hitbox for this is a little bit larger than it actually is. So after I do that, so now we've messed up the game a little bit. It's very upset at us. That's time, by the way. Sorry. I got distracted by the giant amount of nose on the screen. But yeah, that's SUPERHOT. It's a very interesting ending.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was something on the order of 2035 or so.
Nice. That's good. I think only about 4 people have gotten around that time, so it's a really good time.
Yeah, that was a really entertaining run. Great job.
Thank you. And we'll be doing Human Fall Flat right after this, which is nothing like this,
Indeed.
except that you jump around a lot. That's about the only similarity.
So we'll go ahead and do a quick commercial break while Bullets gets switched over, because he'll be running the next game as well. But we'll let him get switched over, and we'll do a quick ad.
Cool. All right, want me to switch over right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Should only take a few seconds. Oh no, I have to open Steam again. Why no katana %? I don't know. Maybe next time.
How much longer is Katana %?
Katana is shorter, actually.
Oh, really?
It is, the world record is sub 8 minutes. I forgot what I got. It's sub 8 minutes, so it's a lot shorter because it doesn't have any of the story stuff. It's just every single level.
I see. This is the
HP human, comma, full
80%.
flat.
Is this like, do you call out the version for this one, or just any %?
1.0 is the current version on Steam, or not the current version on Steam, but it's the release. The other one's kind of like beta. So 1.0 is.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.